Hey viewers, welcome to Down the Rabbit Hole. I'm your host, Bckwrdbbq, and this week we will be looking at The Lion King. Let's go down the rabbit hole. Everyone knows The Lion King would be nothing without its music, so that's where we will be starting.
Sire, all is ready for the presentation of the young prince. Oh, look.
The original opening of The Lion King was very dialogue-heavy until they actually heard the final version of Circle of Life, and they liked it so much that not only did they make it the entire opening of the movie, but they made it the trailer, and this is the first time Disney actually used an actual scene as the trailer. Many of the songs went through multiple versions. Can You Feel the Love Tonight had 18 different variations. The Elton John version that is played during the credits was the original set of lyrics. At one point, the entire song was actually sung by Timon and Pumbaa.
I was horrified to find when I heard it sung by the warthog. Can you feel the love tonight? It was like, oh my God. It was a shock.
And Elton John actually saw an early screening of the movie, and the song was actually removed, and he actually fought to have the song put back in at the last minute. Hakuna Matata also went through several versions. One version was called Warthog Rhapsody.
Though he may not be one of nature's dynamos, his mind is on the ball and far from comatose. Don't dismiss the warthog philosophy. Take it from him, he's got it all worked out.
This song was later reworked for Lion King 1.5 as That's All I Need.
And I'll be snoozing in my hammock by a rippling stream, many miles from any tunnel and the digging team. Looking at the number one will be my only creed. That's all I need.
The crew originally heard the phrase Hakuna Matata when they were in Africa doing research, and the tour guide said it to them. There was also a song called To Be King, sung by Mufasa, but James Earl Jones' singing voice didn't match it very well, so they reworked it as Just Can't Wait to Be King. There was an album released called Rhythm of the Pride Lands, and it was a collection of songs, some of which were deleted songs, including Warthog Rhapsody, and many of these songs were actually original songs by Lebo M, who wrote the original opening chant to Circle of Life. The stage musical also adds a lot of new music to it as well. There were 3 original songs written by Elton John and Tim Rice, one of which was called The Morning Report, and this is a song sung by Zazu and was actually added into the re-release of The Lion King.
This is the morning report. Gives you the long and the short.
Shortly after, though, it was removed from future releases of the movie as well as from the stage production itself. There was also a song sung by the Hyenas called Chow Down.
Chow down!
And the third song is called The Madness of King Scar. This was a song that was based on a deleted scene that was originally supposed to be a reprise of Be Prepared.
It's tough at the top. I deserve a companion, a mate who will start.
In the song, Scar decides that he needs an heir, and decides that Nala will give him that heir.
She's got those assets feminine.
You're the king, control the hyenas.
I have to make her mind.
Destroying the Pride Land.
But that's the real reason she is off wandering on her own when she finds Simba. The stage production also utilizes several of the songs from Rhythm of the Pride Lands, including He Lives in You, which is reworked to be sung by Mufasa as They Live in You.
They live in you.
This song was also reused in Lion King 2 as the theme song. The Lion King was actually supposed to be considered the B film. Pocahontas was actually the A film, where they put all of the big-name artists. There was also an earthquake that actually caused a lot of the artists to end up working at home. So you have Scar's animator working in LA, Simba's animator working in Florida, and voices being recorded in London. The Stampede sequence took about 2 years to do, the entire production of the film. It was made using cel-shaded CGI. New software had to be written so that the wildebeest could run past each other but not through each other. One of the hyena specialists that worked on the film led a boycott and tried to sue Disney over misrepresentation of hyenas in the film. Hyenas are actually just as intelligent as lions, and in most cases, lions actually steal from the hyenas. Jim Cummings, the voice of the gopher that reports to Zazu, as well as Ed, and the current voice of Winnie the Pooh, actually sang the last half of Be Prepared.
Prepare for the coup of the century. Be prepared for the murkiest scam.
This is because Jeremy Irons hurt his throat singing the first half. James Earl Jones and Madge Sinclair have previously played King and Queen of Africa in the movie Coming to America. Mufasa's roar actually isn't a lion's roar at all. It is a cross between a grizzly, a tiger, and an F-16. At one point, Scar was in charge of an army of baboons. At this point, Rafiki was actually a cheetah. The Lion King was originally pitched as Bambi and Hamlet in Africa. In fact, the plot is heavily influenced by Hamlet, and the original ending actually featured Scar saying the words,
Good night, sweet prince.
The Lion King 2 is based on Romeo and Juliet. Now, many people think that Lion King is a ripoff of Kimba the White Lion, an anime that aired in the 1960s. There are many similar scenes as well as some plot similarities, as well as some characters that seem very similar. The director of The Lion King claims he had never even heard of Kimba the White Lion. Matthew Broderick, however, actually thought he was working on a remake of Kimba the White Lion. Now, the art department did use Kimba the White Lion for some early design work.
I was the first, and very proud to be the very first Disney character who actually had gas. And that's really something to put on your tombstone, you know.
In 1994, there was a series of books published called 6 New Adventures. In them, we find a variety of new information, such as the origin story of Scar's name. Scar was actually born as Taka, but one day Mufasa and Taka's father, Ahadi, promised to take them hunting, but official royal business came up and he could not. Taka was angry, but Mufasa understood the rules of being king. As a result, Ahadi thanked Mufasa, and Taka became jealous. He tried a variety of different ways to kill Mufasa, including a snake and a water buffalo. The water buffalo ended up charging, and that is how he ended up with the scar. Now, these books introduce us to Kopa, Nala and Simba's firstborn. Now, you may be wondering, isn't Kiara their firstborn? If you compare the ending of The Lion King to the opening of Lion King 2, you'll notice that these are very, very different from each other. Not only do the series of events happen differently, but it's not even the same cub. Now, in the commentary for The Lion King, the cub is only referred to as Fluffy. The cast and crew for Lion King 2 claimed that they had no knowledge of Kopa. Now, in the original draft for Lion King 2, Kiara was intended to have an older brother known as Chaka. There's currently a television show running called The Lion Guard. It stars Kion, who is Simba and Nala's son, and Kiara's little brother. It takes place in the middle of Lion King 2. Now, according to The Lion Guard, Kiara and Kion are the only two children of Nala and Simba. The second born of the king carries the role of head of the Lion Guard, and they get a cool roar called the Roar of the Elders and a cutie mark. Scar was the previous head of the Lion Guard, but misused this power by trying to use the roar against other lions and lost it. Also, Rob Lowe voices Simba.
Your friends. Kion, I asked you to assemble the new Lion Guard. Instead, you're just playing with your friends?
Many of the names actually have meanings. Mufasa was the last king of Kenya prior to the English colonization. Simba is Swahili for lion. Nala, Swahili for gift. Rafiki, Swahili for friend. Pumbaa, Swahili for slow-witted. Sarabi is Swahili for mirage. Shenzi is Swahili for savage. Bonsai means skulker lurk. Kovu actually means scar. Zira means hate. Nuka means stink. Kopa means heart. Taka could mean want or desire, and it could also mean dirt or garbage.
He was the most beautiful baby in the whole world.
He had a face like a hyena's.
But looking back on Timon's early years, it's not surprising that one could not detect the seeds of greatness.
That's it for this episode. Here's a clue about the next episode. Be sure to leave a comment about what you think the episode will be about, and be sure to subscribe so you can find out for sure when I post. Until next time, may the Force be with you.